Allahu, 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 Allah.
There is a hadith of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned in Sahih Muslim that قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تقوم الساعة حتى تكون 10 آيات. The day of judgment, the end of the times won't come until there appears 10 signs. And these signs mentioned in this hadith are not in their sequence. They are randomly mentioned. And those 10 ayahs are, those 10 signs are, number 1, طلوع الشمس من مغربها, that the sun would rise from the west. And the second one is وَالدَّجَّالُ, that Dajjal, the Antichrist, would come out. And the third one is وَالدُّخَانُ, there will be a smoke that would take over the land, that would yakshan nas, according to Quran it says yakshan nas, that it will cover all of the people. And the fourth one, وَالدَّابَةُ, the beast of the earth would come out that would stamp people according to their iman, either they are sinful or pious, either they are mu'mins or infidels. And then number 5, وَيَأْجُوجُ وَمَأْجُوجُ, that Gog and Magog would appear. And number 6, وَخُرُوجُ عِيسَى ibn Maryam, that Prophet Jesus alayhi salam, Prophet Isa alayhi salam, son of Maryam, son of Mary, would come back from the sky. Then Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned وَثَلَاثَةُ خُسُوف, that's exactly what you asked. وَثَلَاثَةُ خُسُوف, there would be, the land would be synced from 3 places. So the 7th sign would be خَصْفِ الْمَشْرِق, the land would be synced in east. 8th one would be وَخَصُّمْ بِالْمَغْرِبِ, and the land would be synced from in the direction of west. And number 9 would be وَخَصْفُ بِجَزِيرَةِ الْعَرَبِ, that there would be a sinking of the land in Arabian part of the world. And number 10 would be وَنَارُ تَخْرُجُ مِنْ قَعْرِ عَدْنٍ, there would be a fire that would come out in the land of Eden. So we know from this hadith that there would be 3 places from where the earth would be synced. And it is from the time I used to work on the internet as a blogger, and my work used to be to skim information from all over the world and compile it in the form of articles and stuff like that. And it was probably in 2010 when I got to know a news. It was such a surprising news for me that I had not seen anything like that before. And the news came from Guatemala City, which is located in South America. And the news was that a huge, quite big building, along with some other buildings and parts of the other buildings, all of them out of nowhere sinked inside the earth. A huge hole was like formed out of nowhere, and a huge building, including the parts of the other buildings, all of them sank inside. And that hole was not small, it was 300 feet deep. I was like, this must have been something very different. How come such a big part of the land can sink inside? How come there was such a vacuum underneath? They gave all those explanations that there was, the land has been sliding from underneath, and there was sewage pipes, and there were different scientific reasons. Fine. But after several years, when I came across this hadith, I was like, I have seen something like that before. And then I realized that this was news from Guatemala City, that the land was synced And it was no small event. It was not like a few meters, a few feet. It was several hundred feet. And a whole building was sank inside. And when we look it up, we know that it's a whole phenomena of sinkholes. Another huge sinkhole was in Russia. If you take Medina as a center from where Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told this hadith from, the Guatemala city comes in the direction of towards west, and the Russia comes towards east. So we can already see that this sinking of earth in the west and in the east has already been completed. It has already happened. And not only that, this phenomena occurs in other parts of the world as well. These signs tell that they have to happen at least in the west and in the east at least once. So not only that, it happened in other parts of the world as well. And then there is another sign that's about the third sinking of earth, and that would be in the Arabian part of the world. And that would be, that we know from the hadith of Imam al-Mahdi, that we know that when there would be a difference, there would be a quarrel, there would be a fight, a civil war in Saudi Arabia, then black visuals would rise from the east and they would come to fight the way nobody has fought before. So according to hadith, فَيُقَاتِلُونَكُمْ لَا يَقْتُلْهُكُمْ, they would fight in a way nobody has fought before. And the Muslims would be obliged to give their bay'ah, show their allegiance to them, because فَإِنَّهُ خَلِيفَةُ اللَّهُ الْمَهْدِي, because within them would be Allah's Khalifa, Allah's appointee, Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam. So when Imam al-Mahdi arrives in the Arab part of the world, and he is given bay'ah and all of the Muslims show their allegiance to Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam, then an army would be sent by a Muslim ruler of that time from the direction of Syria, and that army would come and they would attempt to, na'uzubillah, murder, na'uzubillah, assassinate Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam. And since Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam would be the appointee of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that army would be sent between Makkah tul Mukarramah and Madinah tul Munawwara in the land of Bayda. And whole army would be sent into the earth, all of them would be killed, and only one person would be left, and who would go over there to announce that this has happened. So that would be the third khusuf, third sinking of the earth that this hadith mentioned. So two of them have already happened, and the third one has yet to happen after the bay'ah of Imam al-Mahdi.